In my early 20s and my 30s, I really excelled quite a bit. I went to college, graduated from University of Central Oklahoma, summa cum laude with highest honors, and continued on into a professional career in architecture and drafting. And things were going okay. I was married. I had a child. The marriage would break up later, and I kind of got myself into kind of a slump. I had reached the peak of professional arena that I was interested in. I was doing very well. I was the chair of a computer drafting and design department at a university here in Oklahoma City. But what really turned my life upside down and kind of threw me in a spiral that was out of control was being introduced to crack cocaine. I was 41 years old the first time I tried crack cocaine. And I know that must sound ridiculous, that somebody with an education and a career and a background and everything would try a drug like crack cocaine, but I really felt like I was strong enough to handle it. And so I started using it, and my life started to become more and more revolved around the use of crack, the people I hung around with. The money that I had was spent on crack cocaine, and it eventually brought me to the point to where I had a bit of a disaster. I totaled my mother's car, and finally I admitted to her that I had a crack addiction, and it had been going on for about 1 year and 6 months. My mother suggested to me that I should go to Griffin Memorial Hospital to try to get some help for it, and I agreed to do that. While I was staying there at Griffin, my mother, I had done so many things to lose her trust. She really did not want me to come back to the house, and I didn't know where I was going to go. And the social worker, I was getting close to being released. I was in Griffin for about 10 days. I was getting close to being released, and I didn't really have any place to go. I didn't have a car. And so a social worker suggested the Jesus House. From what I had seen and read about the Jesus House, they did talk about recovery, and I knew that that's something that I needed to have, was some sort of recovery, because crack had such a hold on me. And it had become my whole life, and I had done everything I could do to get it, and I needed some place to where I could break free from it. And I'll never forget it. I showed up and walked into Kevin's office and sat down, and the first thing Kevin asked me was, well, when was the last time you used? And I told him it was February 20th. And he says, well, you need to remember that day, he said, because that's going to be your sobriety date. That's going to be the day that you're going to remember for the rest of your life as the day that you got clean. And I thought, okay, all right, fine, February 20th, I'll remember it. Ironically, it is at the time of this filming, February 16th. In 4 days, I will have 1 year clean and sober. So he was right. It really is probably the most important date in my later adult life. A year ago when I was using, when I would wake up, the first thing I would think is, oh my God, I'm so depressed. And how am I going to get my drugs today? And then my whole day was just obsessively consumed with the drug. Being free of that and being free of the mental obsession. I love mornings. When I wake up in the morning now, I have a feeling of anticipation for what the day is going to hold. I'm not a slave to any substance. I don't have to go and acquire money to buy a drug. All I have to do is get up, get dressed, go to work, enjoy my work. I know that there are a lot of people who support the Jesus House, and I don't think very many of us know who they are, because they do it out of love and compassion. To those people who really make this place exist, I want to tell you that you saved a life. You saved my life. You saved my daughter's father. You saved my mother's son. And what you're doing just cannot be thanked. There's no way to thank for it. I believe that your thanks will come in your reward with God. But thank you. Thank you very much.